The battlefield is set. The stakes are high. The only thing standing between you and victory? Nothing. Ascend to the pinnacle of gaming greatness with Lenovo Legion. Laptops, towers, and the new award-winning Legion Go, the world's first officially licensed handheld, powered by Steam OS. Legion relentlessly pushes gaming technology forward, with towers built for raw, untamed power, laptops with best-in-class AI tuning that sharpen your reflexes, and the Legion Go, a handheld for serious gaming on the go. Stay ahead with lightning-fast responsiveness on a stunning 16-inch PureSight display. Keep your cool with cold front thermal technology engineered for marathon sessions. And with all-day battery life, the game never stops until you say so. So check out Lenovo.com/Legion. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because DSW has the exact right shoes for whatever you're into right now. You know, like the sneakers that make office hours feel like happy hour. The boots that turn grocery aisles into runways. And all the styles that show off the many sides of you, from daydreamer to multitasker and everything in between. Because you do it all in really great shoes. Find a shoe for every you at your DSW store or dsw.com.
ICON, the Interactive Innovation Conference, brings together leaders from every business sector to learn from the top minds in the $300 billion video game industry. Interactive entertainment technology is reshaping classrooms, reimagining healthcare, and revolutionizing how we connect. What connections will you make at ICON? April 27th to 30th, 2026 in Las Vegas. Learn more at icon.com. That's IICON.com.
Previously on Obscurum, Invasion of the Drones.
Colorado has what they call a multi-mission aircraft. They call it an MMA. They can pinpoint a stray cat in the middle of a wildfire somewhere.
The man mentioned in the article, who's apparently taking responsibility for the sightings, is this guy named Matthew Spencer.
It'll be snowing completely around that site, but it doesn't snow right there at that site. Very weird.
Why do you think the drone showed up when the trash can was lit with fire?
I think it picked up the heat. It was probably at least 8 feet across. It was intimidating. Didn't know anything like that even existed that could hover like that and then take off at that kind of speed.
Hong Kong health authorities have activated their most serious response level after an outbreak of a new type of viral pneumonia in China.
The World Health Organization has declared the coronavirus outbreak a public health emergency of international concern.
New York now confirming its first case.
We're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity.
The WHO has formally declared the coronavirus a global pandemic.
When the coronavirus pandemic ramped up in the spring of 2020, I stayed focused, but experienced many setbacks. Along with trying to find more about Matthew Spencer and if he was tied to the sightings, I'd uncover other things that didn't make sense, and made me fear what technology may be hovering above the prairies. Chapter 11, Outskirts of Yuma. Turn left here. Old-fashioned sign, rustic kind of text in the window. To help get a clearer picture of Matthew's relationship with the Yuma pioneer, I set a time to visit with the newspaper's editor, Tony Rail. Walking into the newsroom felt like going back in time. The walls were a bit worn, and there was a scent in the air that smelled like an old 5 and dime store.
How you doing? I'm Gabe. Tony, nice to meet you. How many papers do you print a week in here?
Oh, our circulation's about 2,000.
Tony's the kind of guy you'd imagine running a small-town newspaper. He had gray hair, glasses, and you could tell he loved the news by the way that he talked. He walked me to an empty room, then told me when he first became aware of the unknown aircraft.
Pretty sure it was in December when it started. Started getting reports about them. I think it was New Year's Eve when my kids said they thought they saw one too and drove out in the country a little ways to kind of follow it. There's somewhere around that night.
When we talked for a couple minutes, I moved the conversation to Matthew.
He was saying they were the ones, that were doing this stuff. I was hoping to find out more from him, and then he just kind of disappeared and never heard from him again after a while.
Tony didn't reveal much. After I left the office, I thought I'd chat with a few local residents to see if Matthew was a regular in Yuma. No one had seen him. Another name kept getting brought up, Tim Colon. It was said that Tim may actually know what was behind a few of the sightings. Tim lived in a white, historic-looking home on the main drag running through town. He was waiting for me on the front porch.
I got an old saying, and I take it from Einstein. The universe is not only stranger than you imagine, it's stranger than you can imagine. And I take that straight to heart. I'm pushing 70, and I've learned a lot, and there ain't no other way to look at it.
Tim has gray hair and a distinctive voice. It didn't take long to realize why folks pointed me in his direction.
The night I was abducted, my wife and I were coming back from Denver because I had to go up and see a doctor, and coming back from a doctor's appointment. And coming up Highway 59 south of Yuma, about 12 miles south of Yuma, a large UFO crossed the road in front of us. It was probably 100 foot long, 20 foot wide, and 10 foot high. And it crossed over the fence, but under the phone lines. Went across the road, and then it was kind of alongside the car, and backed up, a couple hundred yards, and put the car in park, and then we're looking at it, and one light came on right above another. There was two bright lights. Now, a lot of people ask me what kind of alien abducted me, and I don't really know. Got no clue.
Tim believed an alien had snatched him on the outskirts of Yuma and put some type of chip the size of a cantaloupe seed in his arm.
I'd injured my hand working, so I went to the doctor and got an x-ray, and he come back and he says, "Do you know you have a piece of metal in your wrist?" And no. And he said, "You got any idea where it come from?" He had a student nurse doctor with him, and I said, "Well, Doc, finish making your rounds and come back, and I'll give you some info on where that piece of metal might have come from," because it was rapidly dawning on me that it shouldn't have been there, and it had to be interesting. The implant was put in my body, and it didn't have no portal entry. There was no portal entry in my body for this thing to be put in there. I mean, it was a total surprise.
Tim was a character. This was a fascinating story, and a lot for me to take in. He provided nothing new about the drone-like craft seen in the region.
So did you ever find the guy that was mentioned in the article that you were looking for?
No, I drove all the way to Yuma, and I talked to the editor of the paper, and he said he talked to that guy about the story, and then he just disappeared. Everyone kept saying, if you're looking for information about the drones, you got to talk to this guy named Tim. And I went over to Tim's house, and he started telling me this story, that he was abducted by an alien.
Creepy, creepy, creepy.
Okay, I got to get on this other call. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, Mom.
I looked deeper into another theory while trying to find more about Matthew Spencer's background, and that was if these flying objects could be related to the oil and gas industry.
Tell me just a little bit about what your company does and what the priorities are of your company.
We're a small unmanned aircraft company that we focus primarily on the use of unmanned aircraft systems for scientific applications. So that can range everything from atmospheric in situ sampling to remote sensing.
That's Jack Elston of Black Swift Technologies out of Boulder, Colorado. His company not only flies drones for different clients, but builds them too.
So we started out focusing on fixed-wing unmanned aircraft. The reason why we did that is because of the endurance. They're far more efficient than quad rotors, and so we can fly for a lot longer with the same amount of battery, carrying more payload. And the payload, honestly, is the real reason why these things exist in the first place. Without a sensor to gather data, you're just having fun flying something around in the air. So the payload refers to anything that we're putting on board to gather the data that doesn't have to do with the flight control of the aircraft or actually keeping the aircraft aloft.
Is thermal imaging pretty common in your line of work?
I'd say it's second only to just regular visual imagery. Thermal camera can be used, again, you were talking about search and rescue. It makes it a lot easier to find individuals rather than just trying to look at visual data. We've also used thermal cameras as well to detect things like pipelines underneath the ground, because you can actually see their thermal signatures coming to the surface.
Do people use drones a lot, like in oil and gas for pipelines like that?
The oil industry, I know they're doing a lot of infrastructure inspections, so inspection of pipes and things like that. Stuff that you normally have to have people climb up on ladders and kind of deal with the risk of that. It's much easier to just have the aircraft fly the camera up there for you. They're also doing things like looking at methane detections to see if there's any leaks in the area.
The mysterious aircraft didn't belong to Jack's company, but I thought he could have some ideas as to why they might be flying.
Sounds like they were fixed-wing aircraft based on the explanations that I heard. I don't know exactly what people are doing. I mean, normally you have to get permission to go do that. Without permission, the most plausible thing I heard was that it was somebody that was conducting experiments as far as figuring out whether these things could do perimeter surveillance for missile sites.
Missile sites. When Jack said those words, I had a flashback to high school. On the way to a football game, I remember somebody pointing out an area on the side of the road where a bomb was buried in the ground. Weeks rolled by with few developments. Eventually, a new piece of information emerged. Douglas Johnson, a volunteer researcher affiliated with the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, a group that analyzes unidentified aerospace phenomena, obtained a trove of internal FAA emails. They were published online and provided a glimpse into how the FAA was approaching the unidentified drone mystery. Looking to verify the authenticity of the messages, I noticed a couple interesting notes in the endless pages of text. One of them was dated January 2nd, 2020, and written by Special Agent Michael Bumberger of the FAA's Law Enforcement Assistance Program. Michael Bumberger, who I refer to as Agent Bumberger, wrote that he was chasing a lead about someone who may be behind the sightings. In the email, he insinuated that he wanted the FBI to visit this person.
Creativity doesn't wait. It moves, shifts, evolves, just like you. And with the Yoga PC from Lenovo, your tools finally keep up. Stunning, smart, and sustainably sourced, Yoga PCs from Lenovo are designed to amplify your creativity with AI-powered performance. Whether you're sketching, editing, animating, or composing, Yoga moves with you, adapting to your creativity, to your rhythm. With beautiful displays and the flexibility to shift from laptop to tablet, Yoga unlocks new ways to inspire and create. Because at Lenovo, we believe your tools should fuel your flow, not hold you back. Yoga PCs from Lenovo support you at every step of your creative journey. So check out lenovo.com/yoga and supercharge your creativity with yoga. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
For those who haven't already heard, ICON, the Interactive Innovation Conference, is a new event where leaders from every business sector around the world learn from and engage with the top minds in the $300 billion video game industry. Interactive entertainment technology isn't just fun and games. It's also solving problems and driving innovation, everywhere from operating rooms to production studios, education, engineering, retail, and so much more. At ICON, business leaders will learn how to tap into the transformative power of video game technology and form new connections with executives from a wide variety of sectors, and share ideas that can change the game and change the world. This premier event is coming to Las Vegas, April 27th to 30th, 2026. Learn more at icon.com. That's IICON.com.
Wasn't that delicious?
So good.
Your bill, ladies?
I got it. No,
I got it.
Seriously, I insist. I insisted first.
Oh, don't be silly.
You don't be silly.
People with the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card prefer to pay because they earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors for it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No!
The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Chapter 12. The Hunt. Was the FAA zeroing in on Matthew Spencer, or was he even real? I contemplated that question many times. I was beginning to wonder if he was just a joke, drummed up over a poker game by some drunk at the bar. Then, everything changed. Through a series of recurring visits to a couple people who didn't want to be recorded, I was able to figure out that Matthew Spencer did in fact exist. I finally believed that I knew how to approach him. The conversation started with a DM to a random Twitter account. There wasn't a person's name linked to it, and very few details in the bio. I wrote, "I'm a journalist based in LA. I'm originally from the area. I'd like to chat with you about the mystery aircraft. Interested in learning more." I received a long and detailed reply. The words were jumbled and confusing at times. The writing style was similar to the article in the Yuma Pioneer. I was 90% sure I was messaging with Matthew.
I've never seen this guy's face before. He told me he's wearing some jean shorts, I believe, a t-shirt, and a ball cap.
I persuaded Matthew to talk with me in person. After many hours of driving through Kansas, I slowly pulled up to a location he chose, the old Cowtown Museum in Wichita. It's a western town that resembled the city in the late 1800s. He was waiting in the gift shop. He had a stocky build with a black hat, cargo shorts, and glasses on. We said a brief hello, then began walking through the town's dirt road streets. We turned past the blacksmith shop, then grabbed a couple sarsaparillas from the saloon. We sat down at some picnic tables near an old town square.
All right, so first, go ahead and tell me your name.
Yeah, it's Matthew Spencer.
And what is it exactly that your group does?
Basically, when you start forming together and you're picking up people and you're picking up, property and you're doing different things, we decided to form a group. A group you're not going to find on the internet or a website per se. But what we want to do and the tracking we want to do is essentially the identifying mark of who we are.
The tracking we want to do is an identifying mark of who we are? Surely I didn't drive all the way to Kansas for vague responses like that. I asked Matthew to clarify.
So we caught some attention when you get into what you're referring to as the Colorado drone mystery, naturally. But it's about a decade of work, and essentially what we're doing is we track high-value aerospace targets. That's how I break down into the business world. But our main focus is to go after the UAPs that are within the news right now.
I thought back to a few stories I'd seen about UAPs.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
While the mission of Matthew's group was unusual, I wanted to get straight to the point. It seemed highly unlikely that one man or team could operate large numbers of drones in multiple locations, hundreds of miles apart at the same time.
How many drones were you using? Like 5, 10, 15, 20?
So the groups of drones, let's say 10, 25, no. Not at the same time. Yeah. Do we have a fleet? Of course. Was it, 25 the night sky looking in the windows? No.
While I pressed Matthew on the characteristics of his drones and if he was actually flying them at night, I didn't get much information.
So what type of process do you use and do with those drones?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's an exact method, but the idea is that you have to get in the air, one way or another, with your devices and with your tools, and then essentially based on that data, you're picking out your next location.
Matthew avoided the question, and I was losing my patience.
Do you know who is responsible for the drones in Colorado?
You have to get down to the basics. Were there other drones there besides mine? Yeah, without a doubt. Can I tell you whose they were? No.
Matthew was adamant that a small number of his drones, along with others, were flying in the night sky.
You know what I do when I'm tracking, or when anybody's tracking, what do? You fly on a grid. That's just how it works. And so you hear all the reports coming out, well, they're flying in a grid. Kind of makes me think that, you got, I don't want to say fool, because I wasn't trying to fool anybody, but you seen something and your brain kind of figured out the rest. Was there drones in the area? Definitely. But anytime you have drones in the area, there's always a why. So who's going to be right on the why? And it's always the facts and the burden of proof's on you. And I think there's more of a story there. But I think it was involving more than just, drones for no reason were flying in with people there who referred to as the middle of nowhere. And I mean, I'm from a place like that, so there's no disrespect there, but something was going on.
I was able to confirm that on January 2nd, Agent Bumberger emailed Matthew directly, saying that he'd been advised by the Yuma County Sheriff's Office that the mysterious drones in question were his.
You want to sit me down and say I had lights going? You want the clearest understanding, I think. When you get down to it and the he said, she said, especially federal agencies, put me on the polygraph.
I couldn't verify the majority of what Matthew told me. It appeared that when the FAA wouldn't allow a polygraph, he reached out to different newspapers to claim responsibility for his drones. If Matthew was breaking any laws, he hadn't been arrested yet. Was he just screaming for attention? Behind the scenes, FAA investigators clearly had an interest in him. I could tell he wanted to share more. When we finished visiting, I fired off an email to Ian Greger to see if he could arrange a short interview with Agent Bumberger. In a nutshell, Ian wrote back that he wouldn't make Bumberger available. I pushed through further correspondence. He shut me down. Since the origin of the sightings was a mystery, I thought the FAA would want to provide as much transparency as possible. I was wrong. I had to find another way to Bumberger. I re-examined the FAA emails I'd seen online. As I analyzed them again, I discovered a paragraph I'd previously skimmed over. This was part of a message sent on New Year's Eve of 2019.
Notating paragraph 6. The drones are reported to have 6-foot wingspans, and there are several reports that indicate the drones are operating in coordination with a big drone that may be stationary in the area. There's also an unverified report of the larger drone potentially landing and taking back off from an airport in Imperial, Nebraska.
I closed my eyes and thought back to those first couple nights I saw the mysterious lights in the sky. It's what we like to call God's country out here. You look into the sky, you see a few stars, but then you see all of these blinking lights kind of just moving around in irregular patterns. I'm looking at one now, and it has green and yellow light. And there's one with a solid white light on it. It looks bigger and lower to the ground, and it looks like it's stayed in the same area since I pulled up here, just kind of hovering, counting at least now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'd seen the unexplained aircraft near the exact spot the FAA official had written about. Had I missed a landing?
Creativity doesn't wait. It moves, shifts, evolves, just like you. And with the Yoga PC from Lenovo, your tools finally keep up. Stunning, smart, and sustainably sourced, Yoga PCs from Lenovo are designed to amplify your creativity with AI-powered performance. Whether you're sketching, editing, animating, or composing, yoga moves with you, adapting to your creativity, to your rhythm. With beautiful displays and the flexibility to shift from laptop to tablet, yoga unlocks new ways to inspire and create. Because at Lenovo, we believe your tools should fuel your flow, not hold you back. Yoga PCs from Lenovo support you at every step of your creative journey. So check out lenovo.com/yoga and supercharge your creativity with yoga. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
ICON, the Interactive Innovation Conference, brings together leaders from every business sector to learn from the top minds in the $300 billion video game industry. Interactive entertainment technology is reshaping classrooms, reimagining healthcare, and revolutionizing how we connect. What connections will you make at ICON? April 27th to 30th, 2026 in Las Vegas. Learn more at icon.com. That's IICON.com.
Wasn't that delicious? So good.
Your bill, ladies?
I got it. No, I got it. Seriously, I insist. I insisted first. Oh, don't be silly. You don't be silly.
People with the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card prefer to pay because they earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors for it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No!
The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Coming up on Obscurum, Invasion of the Drones.
They act like a living being. I mean, they show curiosity. They just show different emotions, you know, you can feel it.
They did not look like anything that I had ever seen from this planet. They backed those things up and were started to come after me as I was coming down the road.
When it comes to the active missile silos, I assume that there's some type of counter-drone technology. Was that in place?
I got things to do, and it ain't play with drones.
We want to hear from you. If you have any information surrounding the events detailed in this podcast or other obscure stories in rural America we should look into, please visit our website at obscurumseries.com and send us an email. To connect with us on social media, you can follow at obscurum_series and at Gabe Lenners on all social platforms. Obscurum is produced by Imagine and Lenners Entertainment for iHeartMedia. This series is written, hosted, and produced by me, Gabe Lenners. It's executive produced by Ron Howard, Brian Grazer, Carl Welker, Nathan Clokey, Nikki Etour, and me. Additional production by Jacob Plew. Music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Brand management and digital design by Labyrinth Brand Co. Video editing by Alex Semikopenko. This project was mixed and mastered by Jacob Plew. Special thanks to Dan Bodansky, Josh Hiller, Keaton Stortz, Bryson Kais, Ailey Birchfield, David Wasserman, Katrina Norvell, and my family. Obscurum Invasion of the Drones is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Follow now.
The battlefield is set. The stakes are high. The only thing standing between you and victory? Nothing. Ascend to the pinnacle of gaming greatness with Lenovo Legion. Laptops, towers, and the new award-winning Legion Go, the world's first officially licensed handheld, powered by Steam OS. Legion relentlessly pushes gaming technology forward, with towers built for raw, untamed power. Laptops with best-in-class AI tuning that sharpen your reflexes. And the Legion Go, a handheld for serious gaming on the go. Stay ahead with lightning-fast responsiveness on a stunning 16-inch PureSight display. Keep your cool with cold front thermal technology engineered for marathon sessions. And with all-day battery life, the game never stops until you say so. So check out Lenovo.com/Legion. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
CBS Monday, February 24th. Introducing the new daytime drama, Beyond the Gates. Welcome to Fairmont Crest Estates, where the wealthy and glamorous Dupree family rules the community with poise and sophistication. That is, until a cheating husband and his trophy wife start stirring up trouble. Find out what happens beyond these majestic gates and behind closed doors where scandal, romance, betrayal, passion, secrets, and revenge await. CBS Daytime is about to get soapier. The new daytime drama Beyond the Gates premieres CBS Monday, February 24th, and streaming on Paramount+.
ICON, the Interactive Innovation Conference, brings together leaders from every business sector to learn from the top minds in the $300 billion video game industry. Interactive entertainment technology is reshaping classrooms, reimagining healthcare, and revolutionizing how we connect. What connections will you make at ICON? April 27th to 30th, 2026 in Las Vegas. Learn more at icon.com. That's IICON.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.